Another episode of That's Racing, episode number 14. Today, our guests need no introduction. They've been in the sport for a very long time, actually probably longer than I've been born.
How long have you been in the sport?
I've lost count, mate. Long time.
Over 37 years?
Yeah.
Well, then, before I was born. We've got Con and Vic from CnV Performance joining us.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hello, how you going?
Hi.
I think that today we're going to be talking about or getting a bit of an insight into your history, the brand, what you guys have done over the years, and I think we'll wrap it up with a bit of a rundown of the recent win at Jamboree.
Definitely.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, well done, boys.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
And you don't have to be very shy today because I know you're a shy guy.
Vic, you're going to be asked all the questions, mate.
No.
So we want you to answer everything.
Talk to us. Where did you start? How did you start?
How did
What's the go?
CnV start? Yeah.
Well, we started in the 80s out of a servo. Yeah.
One of those dodgy servo pink slip joints.
That's the one.
I was born in 93.
Yeah, we basically started CnV in Matraville out of a BP service station at the workshop side of it. We didn't own the servo. And basically worked on old cars, and we started in muscle car era. We owned our own cars and raced our own cars out of that shop. Obviously not the level cars we race today, but that's where we started. And we always had fun, you know.
And was it always a duo, the two of you, since day dot?
Yes, it was us and two apprentices in the beginning. So we basically worked really hard. And, yeah, we were young, man. So
How old were you when you started?
I was 26, and I'm 64 now. So
Well,
Wow, 38 years.
What about you?
Just finished school, so would have been 18,
Wow.
19.
yeah, I'm older.
So what was it like then? Like, was it a family thing? Did the family have interest in motorsports, or was it just you guys saying that we love cars, we want to get into mechanics?
It was definitely the latter. We love cars. Our parents put up with us, basically.
what era?
Yeah, they didn't understand what we were doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was the passion that we had and sort of drove us all these years and still hasn't really gone anywhere, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I've experienced it firsthand. So, you know, I've
So have I. Yeah.
the passion's definitely there. The drive to succeed, the drive to win's there. So it's impressive what you guys have done. But, yeah, go on. So tell us a bit more about this.
What was your first
Muscle
car you
era.
built and raced?
Me,
Both of yous,
we
whatever.
built a car together out of the garage at Mum and Dad's house. We had an LJ with a small block Chev in it, and then we put a nitrous kit on it. So our nitrous days
Was that Vic's
started-
idea?
It was both of us. Like he did the work with me back then. I don't do much work nowadays, but anyway, basically,
Oh, so you actually turned a few spanners back in the days?
yeah, I was
Really?
a proper mechanic.
Oh,
My hands were black.
That's funny how times change, eh?
Yeah, big time. But yeah, we raced that car like it was basically a street car. It had everything that you could buy at the time. You try and nut a combination together to make it fast, and we were fast, but basically not. In those days, it was a street thing. It wasn't like CnV hadn't started yet. But when we started CnV, we had to sort of change the persona of street races and become a business. So we built 1 tonne drag car, which we ran in super stock, and Vic had a super sedan with, again, a nitrous small block in it with 2 stages of gas that he used to top qualify in super sedan back then, which was a big deal for us, like as a shop. And yeah, we raced in the days when there was a lot of crowd too, so it was a different era, you know.
I sense you love nitrous.
Big time at the time, yeah, big time. That was the main thing then, you know, and we were known for that. But like I said, as the evolution of the business went, we started going EFI, and we were early days EFI. We started with, you know, with screwdriver microtex, and we basically done everything in between.
Electronics.
Yeah, Autronics, Motec, you name it, we've done every single combo that you can imagine. So, you know, there's a lot of experience doing it that way, you know.
Yeah.
So there was a time I know in your history where you dabbled in rotaries.
Tim.
That's me.
Oh, you had a rotary?
Yeah, I did.
Didn't you know?
I think we got a photo of it. We've got to pick off that rotary.
It was
It started with a
There it
white
is.
one first.
There it is.
What, with the actual rotor in it?
No, that wasn't. That was the V8.
Oh, was that the V8?
Yeah.
Which one had the rotor in it?
Well, It was supposed to be a rotary, but that was a long story. But
Had a street car first. It was
So-
a white coupe.
What was it? 13B.
Bridgeport.
Yeah, 13B Bridgeport.
Yeah. So it was your idea, just so the viewers can understand. This was your idea to get a rotary, and then you convinced your brother.
Well, that car,
V8.
the photo that you showed then, that was before,
Yeah.
right? And then I decided to build another one with a supercharger on it.
Really?
Which it was iconic. Baby one was a yellow one. It was pretty famous back then.
Wow.
And that's when the race car. That's when we were going to build the race car. So the race car was getting built, and we were going to put a turbo engine in it. That was a big deal. And circumstances changed. There was issues when the car was getting panel beated, and it got broken into, and things happened, and things were stolen from the car. And then it turned into, with help from the panel beater, we ended up putting a small block in it, and that's when
Started in the
it
V8.
started in the V8. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So why? So the only reason you moved away from the rotaries was because
Someone
there was a
stole the
break-in and
rotor.
someone
Yeah.
stole the gear.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a blessing.
Well, yeah, maybe.
If you think about it, that could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at Pack, you don't know.
Yeah,
Could
look,
be a blessing or not. Look, they've done really well.
They've
from
done
rotaries.
well.
So that could have been them. Yeah.
So I mean, just did you actually race that car or no? You bought it.
The white. I didn't buy any car built. I built all of them.
Okay.
So the white car raced at Canberra when Canberra had the drag strip.
Yeah.
And that went 13-1, 13-2.
With a
Bridgeport.
Bridget.
No,
Wow.
no, it went 12-8. But anyway,
Oh,
12.8.
Yeah.
Wow. Back then.
yeah.
Fuck it all.
And then
What are we talking? 80 still?
yeah,
yeah.
So why, after you've gone 12.8,
Then
you send it to a panel shop?
Then no, not that
No,
car.
not that car.
Then I built the supercharged car.
Okay.
And that I went to Summernats, and that's in a few of the episodes in Summernats. I raced it in the go to woe. You know how you
Yeah.
accelerate.
They said that at Eastern Creek.
what is that?
Until
Yeah.
the guy, he
It's-
died in the Alfa Romeo, remember?
yeah. That was
The judge.
Yeah.
Judge. Remember?
What is that go to woe? I've always seen it,
Go
heard
as
of
fast
it.
as you can, and then you'd have to stop
Yes, in between the lines.
there in between the lines.
Is that all it is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
I got to the top three, and then I lost.
So is it the fastest person, the guy that gets there the fastest?
And stops in between.
in between the lines, yeah. So it's how fast you went, and then how close you got into between the lines. But they did it at Eastern Creek, and they used to race back towards the grandstands. And there was a car back then. It was called the Judge.
Yeah,
I think it was
that's-
making like 2,500 horsepower back then, if I remember. And it lost its brakes and hit the wall
Wow.
of the tunnels, and the guy died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to race Batty Moose's 200
back then.
SX,
Okay. Yeah.
and then that happened, and then
Yeah.
the event got
They did
stopped.
kick- yeah. It was a big thing. It was a big thing. Yeah. It was almost like a weird roll racing.
So
Yeah.
so then you had this baby one supercharged
Yep.
rotary.
Then I built the race car.
Right.
Yeah,
So the race car you built never actually went to the racetrack.
with the rotary, no.
So why, at that point, once you did get broken into, or the panel shop got broken into, did they decide that? At what point did you decide I don't want to put a rotary in it anymore? I want to go V8.
Yeah, it was just
because he got there and the engine was out. It was just
at
Okay,
that,
but
at that time.
You could have
it
bought
was-
another rotary and put it in it.
Yeah, look,
But why didn't you?
it just happened. You know,
Are you glad that it happened?
you can never go backwards, can you?
Yeah,
from what
well, I
you did? But,
suppose.
I reckon
yeah,
you should build a
I
rotary
can-
now for the
I
sake
can,
of it.
I can never regret. I always loved the way they felt. You know, so
The rotary or the
yeah,
V8?
I loved it.
The way that they come on, the
Yeah,
power
it
band,
was fun.
the two-stroke, it's just
The
like...
sound, it was, yeah, no turbos back then. It was all Proofhill Port, Bridgeport, loud,
So turbos
Proper.
hadn't evolved
not properly
at that time.
Not properly.
Superchargers were still
Turbos didn't
the thing
exist in
then.
the 80s.
No, I think they did, but then they had like the blow-by setup where it ran through the carburetor or something like that. The turbo. Are you familiar with those?
I
setups?
can't remember that far back.
You can't.
It was more superchargers, I think. V8, nitrous, superchargers.
Yeah.
And then
No.
turbos sort of hit the scene.
Yeah.
So
That's,
then you-
that's probably why we turned away. It was because we just dealt with Con's cars and the V8 scene was so big, and we just kept going with that, and that's what happened.
Do you think that was a car that put CnV on the map in terms of?
Both our cars did. The
Which
car-
ones?
The one tonner.
The one tonner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
the
car was
Mazda.
pretty famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that car was a big deal.
What's
had
a
the
one-tonner?
nitrous tanks on the back.
No,
didn't
the street car did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the race car was left-hand drive, purpose-built, 1,000 horsepower NA motor back in the 90s, which was a big deal back then.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's a big deal now.
Yeah,
For
that
NA.
was, yeah, that was a big thing back then. So we basically went NA, and then we had the intentions to go nitrous on that race car as well, but they started changing rules, and it became an index that you had to race against an index system, and we didn't like it. It was sort of, you're going to spend a lot of money to make it go fast, and then handicap yourself for the next run. It didn't make sense to us. That sort of racing sort of started getting a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
Where when we traditional drag racing is always better.
Yep.
Where
Is that heads up
rotary racing? You got the fastest car or the best driver, whatever combination works is the best way to go racing, as far as we're concerned. So we stopped at that point, you know.
So talk us through the one tonner. I think we do have a photo of that one. Now
Yeah, I want to know what a one-tonner is.
it's a ute, like a HQ. Was it a HQ?
Yeah.
Yeah, HQ 1 ton ute.
There was a recent post on Facebook like a few months back. He's driving the car again now. He drove it.
But you still got it.
No, a friend of mine bought it. And
Oh,
he said
that,
if
a
I made-
Holden Ute.
Yeah,
Say Holden Ute.
it was a Holden Ute, but
Do
it
you
was.
notice something, Ron?
I'm left-hand drive.
Left-hand drive.
So we built the car, we had a friend who had a chassis shop that just started at the time, and he built the car with us.
Is
so
he
the
still
car,
around?
No, he's into structural steel, so his business went forward from there. The chassis business wasn't working, but yeah. So look, at the end of the day, the car was a great car, but we, as a business side, because the nitrous thing was always, we were the nitrous guys, we wanted to sort of deviate a
Is
little
that
bit.
it?
Yeah, that's the race car. So we sort of said, okay, well, let's just build an NA car for a while and compete at a level where they have to have power to weight per cube, and it was a proper class where you have to actually make it work. And that's what we did, and the car went really well. We did very well. I won the Triple Challenge, which was you were invited to race at that event. It was like 30 or 40,000 crowd there. So, you know, things like that sort of in your memory bank are pretty solid. But like I said, that's the way we wanted to proceed with our business. And obviously in the sport that we loved and
You
we
still
still
have
love.
that car.
A mate of mine bought it.
You still got it.
You just raced that about 6 months ago? 7 months ago?
Yeah, I took it out.
You
Yeah.
took it out and raced it.
What's it run?
Well, the new motor in it went 890 on a soft run, but that motor went like 830 back in the days when I ran my engine in the car, you know.
We're talking like 90s now, right?
90s, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And what
And
gearbox?
that was big.
Power
to,
glide.
To run an 8 back then was big.
830, yeah.
The car went 1.1s in the 60 back then.
Really?
Yeah, auto car. It was pretty good.
Ashraf runs that now.
But, you know, at the end of it, like I said, we like evolving and going forward. And I think that's a strength that, you know, we like to do, because we don't want to sit at one spot.
Yeah.
Where sometimes, you know, people choose to do one thing and that's it. Right? It's never been us.
So, did you ever get behind the wheel of that one tonner, Vic?
Nope.
Never?
Never.
Was it you driving, Con?
Always.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew when you drove.
Old, mate.
Yeah.
You weren't born.
No, probably wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you drove either.
Yeah.
So when you say that the crowds were 30,000, 40,000 strong, like that freaks me out.
Those numbers are freaky,
To
man.
think, fuck. I remember going on Wednesday nights when we were racing, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s, and there was big crowds on Wednesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
But to have 30, 40,000 people crowds, like what happened? What do you think's happened here, like to drag racing? Why
I had the
are the
same
crowds gone? Like what's happened in your opinion over the years since that you guys have been around for so long?
To be honest with you, I don't know. Like, I think the sport's exciting. Like, you got a winner and a loser. It's like adrenaline to the max as far as I'm concerned. But maybe we're biased because we love it. But, you know, there's no promoters out there that have really got an answer for the crowds. And as far as...
Well, it's hard. Like, you look at the recent Jamboree, Adelaide just got canned.
Yes.
You know, because not enough entrants.
Like, is it dying? Because when you look at like roll racing now and other events, you know, you look at the time attack and all these other things that go on, the crowds are massive. But then you look at like a big drag racing event like Jambo or whatever, the crowds are tiny. So
about 5,000-6,000.
yeah,
That's it. Like,
yeah. So what is it? Like, is it?
I think you're right. I think there is something there. And I think when you work it out, the crowds will come back.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
I agree.
You know? Because
I reckon it's a free entry and everyone will come back.
Look, there's got to be some marketers out there and people know how to do this stuff properly, and I'll guarantee you they'll get crowds.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not me. We've got no idea what's gone wrong, but definitely it's all around the world. By the way, it doesn't just happen here. You know, there's big events in America where they get massive crowds, but they only do 1 or 2 events a year, and they push towards that and they get the crowd. You know?
Yeah, but you look at NHRA, for example, they get those grandstands full every meeting, you know, or you look at any of the big races, they have grandstands that are full, and, you know, you get 50, 60, 70 cars qualifying for a 32-car field.
Yep.
Here, you give ridiculous amounts of prize money, offer them to come and race and potentially win 50, 60, 70, 80
I don't
grand.
know about ridiculous amounts of prize money.
Well, I mean, look at Mayhem. We offered up 50 grand, first
Yeah.
prize, 100 grand for
Yeah.
an RB if they won it. We couldn't get enough numbers to run the event.
Yeah, that was a bit different. That was more about the entry fee and a lot of people not wanting to pay. But if you look at big events like what Con's talking about in America, like Orlando that just passed last week, you know, there was a grudge race for 200K US, but the prize money for that event was 100,000 US.
Yeah,
We've
but
never
their
had anything
entries-
like that here.
Yeah, but their entries to go and, for example, to race a SmackDown, that's coming up, 150K first prize.
Yeah,
It's $2,500 to enter.
yeah, but it's 150,000.
Yeah, okay.
It's the
So
same
there's
thing as paying
$1,000 to
$1,000
enter
for 50.
for 50.
Yeah, and it depends how you say
It's
it.
just our Australian market isn't there for it.
I get it, but the cars that are racing for that 150 are all high-end ProMods, not, you know, 8-second, 9-second, 7-second cars mixed batch. You're talking about the
They're all-
high-end cars.
The numbers that differentiate those cars is what? 1, 2, 3 numbers, you know, between 1 and 32.
100%.
Yeah.
They're really close field.
That's right. So you're talking about the elite really racing. So they've
Like
all
myself.
they've all got a shot. Yeah, like Ash, going back to second.
Like
First,
8-0, consistent. I'm a good racer.
Bracket racer.
100%. He's the best breaker racer you ever get, guys.
I got it down pat.
Yeah. So okay. So then we went from. So where are you now? After you got the 1 tonner, are we still in the servo? Have we moved to Waterloo yet? Was Waterloo your first big shop?
We had a shop in between at Beecham Road,
Yep.
which is probably a fairly good shop. We had our first dyno there, 2-wheel drive dyno. Waterloo was a bigger shop, but we had a 4-wheel drive dyno there, big
Yeah.
show. We had spare parts. We had an
Yeah,
engineering.
Waterloo was crazy. I remember the first time I walked into Waterloo, and I was just like, "Fucking wow!" But you had business partner at the time, Renault Rifkin.
Yes.
You guys know who Renault Rifkin is?
Who's that?
Is a colourful identity, that's for sure.
Yeah. So give him a rundown, Con, on who Renault Rifkin was and what he did and how he got involved in CnV, because that's a really interesting story.
Well, to be honest with you, Rene was a friend of ours first before he became a partner.
Yep.
We were doing cars for him.
Yep.
And he basically, we were sort of in the middle of, do we keep going with this business or do we have a change? And he said, well, let's go into a bigger business, and he wanted to go bigger. So
Who was he?
he was a big stockbroker at the time, probably the biggest in Australia.
Yeah. What was he worth? He was worth easy.
Oh, he was worth a lot of money, but he was very flamboyant. He had a big boat. He lived large.
Yeah.
Had a
Rush
helicopter.
Cutters Bay.
Used to land the chopper on the boat. It was like a big lifestyle, you know.
That's right. And I
Where
remember
is
he's dead.
He's dead.
Oh,
So he had a massive car collection, right?
80 odd cars, yeah.
Yeah, but like we're talking rare exotics, supercars at the time.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember you guys had in the back like crazy stuff back then that was still like Dodge Vipers and Ferraris and
Lambos. Yeah,
and
everything.
he had like the best of the best.
The
back
best
then.
car was the amphibia car.
That
You
was
could
fun.
drive it into the water.
We drove that in the water. Yeah.
That was the best.
That was cool.
He had some crazy cars, and I remember he had his security guards used to take the cars for a drive and go fill them up at Shell Brighton from Waterloo.
You got a good memory, man.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. So Renault Rifkin got into the business, and that's how he's got this big ass shop, because that was big. How many square meters was that? That was
2000.
yeah, and at the
But-
time that's
Wow.
big. Yeah,
It was big, but he was only a quarter of the business.
yeah.
So the way we structured it, we were planning to go for a while, but he had his own issues at the time, and basically, in the end, it was nothing to do with us. But he had his own problems, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He got done for insider trading.
which was fake. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, well, that's what they say. He went to jail, and I think.
And is that where it took a turn in terms of the relationship between you guys and...
we never had a problem between us. We were fine.
yeah,
That was the world turned in on him, Like, so unfortunately, that's how life is sometimes, you know.
So how does that affect you? Like, you have a awesome shop. I didn't know it at the time. I'm only just finding out now. But you've had an awesome shop, all the gear, and then click of a finger, it's all imploded.
Well, we had to regroup and work out whether we were going to do this or not. You know, basically the decision was, do we keep going? If we keep going, what level are we going to do it at? So we basically went smaller and ran the shop tighter and kept racing. The racing's always been a good thing for us.
Yeah, that's when you moved to Tarrant Point.
Yeah.
Carrying Bar, Tarrant Point.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the thing that sort of has been constant is the racing for us. So we've never really stopped.
Did Renee own any race cars?
No,
Never?
no. Well, he collected cars, loved cars, but you know, we were the racers. And well, once we were dynoing one of our good friends' cars. We had Michael Moit's Cortina, nitrous Cortina, on the two-wheel drive dyno, Beecham Road, and Rene came in and we had the wheelie bars in the car. His car was strapped on the dyno, and we turned the nitrous on. The car took off. It came off the rollers, hit the brakes, came backwards. The guys were hanging on the wheelie bars, fell off, and then we were all laughing and carrying on. And Rene goes, "Was that normal?" We go, "No, that was not normal."
Had no idea.
Nah. So, you know, he was a good guy, but like we really got along really well.
Yeah.
But like I said, life changes.
What's one of the craziest things you saw him do? Because I've heard some stories.
Me, I'd never really seen him do anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No, he was a flamboyant guy, but yeah, he was good with us.
Yeah.
We had a good relationship, like solid.
So then you decided to continue on with the business, move to Tarrant Point. At that point, obviously there were effects from what had happened then. Did that really affect? Did that really affect the business and what you were trying to do moving forward, or?
Well, we didn't really want to build a super shop. That was, like I said, our partner's decision. We were happy to run a small shop anyway, so it really didn't change what we were doing.
Was it profitable running a super shop at the time?
Well, I don't think any business is profitable when you're setting up because there's big setup costs.
Yeah.
You've always got to have like a 4 or 5 year plan.
And how long did that business go for?
Probably a couple of years.
Okay.
But so we were going okay, but like I said, we would never know the outcome because we never finished. But you know, we had 9 mechanics, a couple of electricians, fabricators.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
We were solid.
It was crazy.
Yeah, but what was it set up for? Was it set up to cater for
drag racing.
drag racing, or was it
Street
set up
cars.
to cater for services and
street cars, drag racing, servicing, everything. Everything.
We started in Matraville. 90% of our work was normal cars. We made that business 90% performance cars and drag cars. So we ended up going to where we wanted to go to. So we always, like I said, the passion was racing.
Yeah.
And we fed that passion. We're very lucky. You just got to think how many people can do what they love. You know, like
Not many.
Honestly, it's hard. I'm not saying that other people don't do it, but for us, it was the racing that keeps us normal, really.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it
Is that
works.
still the same passion until today?
Big time, big time.
a little bit less because you're older, or more because you're wiser?
I think we think too much about it.
Oh, yeah.
What big cars came out of Waterloo that then transitioned to Tarrant Point?
Mate, to be honest with you, I can only think of a few, but we kept building cars that, like, really, we were the only ones building. Like, we had a 6-second ProMod, that EFI nitrous thing that we had then. It was not another one like it in the country.
Yeah.
So we were doing stuff that was really unique, you know.
A few of the cars that stand out to me from memory was obviously Mr. Mad.
Yep.
That was a crazy car at its time.
Yep.
There was the Ute.
Yep.
Was that the ProMod Ute?
No,
LS
the LS Ute,
The LS Ute.
Yeah, we were running solid numbers in that too.
Is that what Jerry then now owned
At the
and
end.
then sold?
Yeah, definitely.
What's that gone, Con?
We started running 7.0s when we ran it first, like with the 9 blocks back then, and then we basically made the car run 6s like a bracket car, like just
So easy in a V8.
Yeah, like it was a bracket car, man. Like
It's depressing me.
Ashraf's been trying to run a 7 for about 10 years. So.
Can you give him?
They done this back in the
tips or advice?
90s.
80s.
This is the 90s or 80s?
No, this is
No,
like
it's 2000.
2000.
Oh, okay. Oh, I feel better.
Early 2000s though.
So I
Oh,
was,
you know, but like you
How
said,
old were
Mr. Mad, when we ran Ivan's car, like that was a small block with like a clutch and a Lenko. That was like right outside of it, what we normally run, but we made the car run really well. It ran 670 at 210 back then.
Yeah, man.
And that was like solid for a little wheelbase car. Ivan drove it like a champion. Like he was not a normal driver, like the car.
Bill and I were the clutch guys.
Yeah. So, you know,
Oh, and engine guys, but
yeah, but like at the end of it, like I said, we looked at each job as a start to finish. So how do we get to the end and not make a mistake and make the car work and make the car repeatable, right? In the end, we were doing intercooler stuff and learning how to do all that stuff on petrol. There wasn't even methanol in that car back then. It was C16,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So intake temperatures and all plasma man was getting involved, building us water air coolers, and we were getting crazy temperatures into the intake, which is really good. On a 40-degree day, you're running 40-degree intakes. Like it was just crazy, and it was working. You know, the car worked. But, you know, a lot of thought went into it. It was never just, oh, yeah, we've got to do that. Just try and calculate it out and make it work, you know.
Yeah. So he's just constantly
Developing and
yeah.
working it out,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. That's what it's all about, really. So what car stands out to you guys the most? Like, what's your favorite car that you've built out of the shop, personally?
Favourite car? Oh, my God. It's like saying which kid do you love the most?
I can answer.
he can answer that. He doesn't know three of them.
Mate, they're all awesome, man. Like, honestly,
What's your favourite? What do you think was the most rewarding car that you have built?
Built or worked on?
Built.
so we don't build cars completely from scratch.
But like,
Being part of the project from start to finish.
and when you send that number light up and you're like, yeah, this is like, it made you the happiest.
but that you could say that about every car that comes into the shop, really.
Yeah.
I don't have a favourite, to be honest with you. Like,
Is there something that stood out? Like, was there something
It's
that
all right
was...
if you don't pick Frank. He's not going to care. Frank, you're not going to care.
no, it's not about that. It's like, honestly, if you've got a goal, and let's say you want to run 7.9 in your car, I'll be as happy to run a 7.9 in your car than run a 5 in your car.
Of
Same
course.
thing.
I wish Matuk thought the same thing.
You just want people. You just want people to achieve their goals.
100%. And that's our main thing, right? So it's not my goal. It's what you want. And that's the way we've structured ourselves, because I've been on the other side of that.
Yeah.
When we started off, we had no one to do that, what we do for our customers, right? So I think that's a cool thing if you can achieve the goal that the customer wants, you know?
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about.
So how did you end up splitting into tuning versus engine building, sort of? Like, how did that happen?
He became lazy.
Yeah. I was smart. I just sat on the couch.
And were you okay with it? Like, did you ever say?
No, didn't care. Because I just love building engines.
Yeah.
That's where it started for me.
Yeah.
And you know he's good at what he does. So it's like,
And I just loved
Fair,
it.
fair.
And
Where'd you pick that up from, Con? Like, where was the initial, you know what, I'm going to get into this, and okay, I like it.
Well, I liked it from day one because I thought that's the right way to go for the future of what we were doing in the sport. So electronics is, like, we had people in our era that were pro stock and like high-end racers, and they're looking at us like, you're going to go EFI? Like, we were crazy, you know? But that was
Yeah.
it's crazy. But now today, I don't think it was a crazy idea. I think we were okay.
Definitely.
You know? It made us, like I said, very solid, where we've learnt all the way through. We haven't just stopped. We're not stopping here. I don't look at yesterday as the day. I look at the future, and that's the way I think is the best way to be. And that's what makes it interesting for me.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
So Vic, back onto this engine building discussion. What's the favourite engine you've ever built, mate?
the favourite.
I know which one.
It's a nice shiny.
How much power did
shiny
it make?
No, that was fun.
5,300 something.
If for those that don't know, Vic built the motor that's in my ProMod.
I was part of it.
Part of it. You and Mark at
built
their
the
shop.
motor. Yeah.
Yeah. At that made 53.
Yeah.
60 horsepower, 5,360.
We told them
insane.
not to do
That
it.
got built here, bro. Because we
Oh yeah, you built it here for the black car, but then decided not to
Yeah.
go ahead and send it.
sent it back there. So I ordered a couple of parts from Proline. They come here, got to the shop, sent it off to get a couple of machining things done to it, and they put it together, and we shipped it there.
But Andrew's actually a smart guy, because at the end of the day, he understands that what it takes to go racing, right? Not being in a bad way. We needed a tool, go get the tool, do the job, whatever it takes to get it right. And that's what it takes, really.
100%. Yeah.
And it
I agree.
happened, and it made power, and it worked.
Is that the highest horsepower engine you've been
Yes.
part of or built?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
That's right. Part of,
I think it's the highest horsepower engine there is.
You got to say part of it.
Pretty
I've got to
much,
say
eh?
part of it because Mark's the man at the moment.
Who's
so
Mark?
My mechanic. He's the engine builder.
Oh,
at the
okay.
shop. Yeah.
You know, I just moving away from this a little bit. I'm obviously
Where you going?
No, moving away from talking about them. Just the experience that I've had. Like Vic's the type of guy. Every little thing he does, he'll send you a photo of it. If there's something wrong, like there's a little scratch on something, he'll fucking sit there, zoom in on it, and send you a photo
Had
of
a
it.
few bad experiences, huh?
Well, I don't know if it's a bad experience, but I think
OCD, it's good.
he likes giving people update. Like,
Yeah.
I know for me, when I see a photo, be it them working on a car or anyone else for that matter working on something, to get those regular updates is cool, man.
100%, I agree, totally.
And-
when you see constant photos of your car getting worked on and
It's the best.
progress photos and stuff like that, it G's you up
Then
and you
you
feel
gotta-
like
How many have you got lately?
Then you deal with the
How many have
Americans.
you got lately?
none.
Then you deal with the Americans. And that's on the other end of the scale. Like I'm there having to ring him every month to send me a photo, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm having to beg him.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, please send me.
And then when he gets the photo, he just sits there. Oh, look at it. Look at Ashley. Look.
No, you're lying.
You did at George's. How many times?
Stop it.
Witness.
Oh, look.
So then, moving back onto topic, Tarrant Point. From there, what is that? How you now moved into where you are now,
Smithfield, yeah.
Smithfield?
Why'd you just move?
They've been in Smithfield for fucking 4 years.
You know, but why? Why? I said
No,
why.
more than that. Is it more? About 4?
Why'd you just move from Tarrant Point?
Well, we didn't own the building,
Yeah.
and basically the building got sold, and we had to make a move.
Okay.
That's a big move about Tarrant Point to Smithfield.
But where's it going?
To the track.
Right. So for us, it
Makes
was a
sense.
logical move, you know?
100%.
Logical move to go racing.
Yeah.
But
What about
it's
where you
shit
live?
going in the
Is it a long
mornings.
drive?
50 minutes,
Yeah.
That's a long drive.
coffee, you're good.
Chat.
Yeah, that's all
That's
it is.
right.
The phone calls are the best in the mornings.
100% you'll be talking to him.
I do every now and then. Yeah.
Because you're that guy in the morning.
So the
I'm up early, bro.
I know.
I'm up really
yeah,
early.
this guy sleeps at like my grandma's
He doesn't sleep.
time. He's in bed by like 8:30.
Stop.
It's crazy.
No, he's in bed by
9:30, 9:30, 10,
That's insane.
10:30.
And then he'll call you at
So early.
He'll call you at 7, like full happy. Hey, what are you doing? Oh,
When was the last time you slept? Anyone here slept at 9:30 or 9 o'clock?
Mate, I always do.
Yeah, right.
It's the best, mate. Beauty sleep. Like you can't become a sprung chook if you don't get enough sleep.
You look younger.
Oh wait,
That's
Sleep.
what that's what a new
That's what sleep does.
That's what a new ProMod does to you.
That's right. Nice, shiny.
So why do you look
That
depressed?
hasn't started
I haven't
yet.
got it yet. Hasn't been painted yet. So the obviously the import scene is blowing up. You know, since you guys obviously went from when you started, the V8 scene was a big thing, and then you've obviously transitioned and started building some, you know, good import cars. I've I had a car with you guys a long time ago. My first ever VL. With when Bill Perko was working at the shop with you guys.
Yep.
And that was sort of like still, you know, new ground and no one has
We had fun with that.
uncharted territory.
Well, Bill ran the car. You remember when he raced it? The car was really fast for
Yeah.
its time, you know.
100%, yeah. I think we went 9-1 off the trailer.
100%.
The record then was like 9-4 or something, 9-6. So
Yep.
it was a big deal back then, but it was just crazy.
you remember-
Bill continued doing what he was doing.
Yeah,
'cause
man.
He knew you before us.
Yeah.
And then when he come and started working for us, he was unfinished business with you and his car.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
And
yeah.
he just kept
we kept going. I
going
remember.
with it. And
Yep.
Yeah, I remember we dynoed it. One of the first times we dynoed made like 420 kilowatt, and we were jumping up and down.
You remember the bumper bar took off?
Yeah, flew off the pipe. The intercooler pipe came off. Bumper came off. It was insane. But that development from back then, and then obviously you guys got into the GDR scene a bit.
I remember RH7.
Do you remember the first one?
Yeah,
Was that RH7 GDR? Or was that another one?
Before that.
yeah. There was one before that.
There was one when we were at Waterloo. We had a customer came and basically no holds barred. Basically a GDR.
Was that
with-
Julian?
No, his name was Mario,
Mario. That's it.
and he basically gave us a 32 or 33, I can't remember,
33.
and had a Hollinger in it at the time,
Yep.
and it was a monster car. For us, it was a full Motec car, which, like I said, high tech for us was perfect. It was. We never got to finish that car because he took off and basically he wasn't a racer, and the car was like awesome. But that was a real good GDR for us.
Yeah.
But at the time, we dabbled with a lot of cars. Like we had the Green Ghost, like Vic said, was the SR that went low tens back then.
Is that the 200?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You know the
You know, it was for sale the
auto
other day.
salon. Yeah, I was saying it.
140,000?
Yeah, we had
I thought it was 30.
one of our customers wanted to do a WRX, and at the time, the quickest Rex in the country was like a 10.0. We went out with a brand new car and went 940 back then.
You built me a Rex as well, remember?
That's right. So, you know, like, again, what's the customers wanted, and we actually got there, and it made it really satisfying, you know. So
Yeah.
I can't even remember how many cars we built, guys. It's like actually crazy.
Oh, crazy, 100%.
All right, so this GDR, because the GDR that I've known CnV for is RH7.
Which originally was Paul Mahate's car.
Yes.
Yes.
And Paul, everyone knows Paul, he's always driven and he wants to go fast, and he basically said, let's put an auto in the car, let's do this and this, and we go, let's go, it sounds good. And we went out and ran 8s, and then we ran 7s before any of the GDRs did. And we were progressing, and then Paul sold the car to John, who became a friend of ours as well. And we were going really, really well with the program, but then John stopped. So
What did that car run best?
750.
I think it went 730 back then.
Yeah.
But the
Did
car,
it go 30?
yeah, I think so, with John driving, and it was on the limiter doing a few things, but
That was still twin turbo, that car.
Yes.
that's right. But like I said, we had plans for that car to run into the 6s, but I said John stopped, and that's where it stopped, you know.
You still got it?
No, he sold it, but like I said,
Oh, okay.
So did Paul sell that car to move on to the ProMod stuff then?
he sold the car,
I think he was scared to drive.
and his cousin Michael, who's like a really close friend, basically started with a 10.5 car, and we basically bought that car turnkey out of the States, and Paul was driving, I was tuning, we had our crew there like Vass and Skip, we were involved with the car, so we were all together working on that car. Basically went 5s back then with the 10.5 tyre and raced at that level, you know. It was really exciting, to be honest with you, because the little tyre made it hard, you know.
So that car ran 5s. Was that with Proline's involvement back then or no?
No, the original involvement was us, and we then had involved Proline after, because we ended up buying a billet block off them.
So just talk us through it. Where'd this car come from, this Mustang?
It got bought out of the States.
As a turnkey car?
turnkey car.
Yep.
A guy called Brian Carpenter
Oh, yeah, I remember.
owned the car. He was a friend of Rob Campisi, who obviously, I don't know, you know who Rob is,
Yep.
because we were involved with Rob's program when we ran 5s and 260 mile an hour back then as well. That's another car we did.
When you say back then, how long ago was that? Just everyone's...
About 12 years ago.
So you went 5 at 260 mile 12 years ago.
Yeah, we led the world actually. The 260 mile an hour world record was our world record out of our shop
Well,
with no involvement. That was us, 100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
and that was a big block?
that was a big block twin turbo Ford motor. So, like I said, it's like you just remember things as we're talking.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of big things in the middle, you know.
That's sick.
Yeah, so you got to remember, like at the end of it, every single one was extraordinary at the time,
Yeah, 100%.
right? So
It was a big deal for its time.
yeah, but evolution, mate. People always chase. People always go fast, and
And you learn.
That's the nature of it.
I was never a V8 guy, right? So I was always a rotary guy. And to be honest, the time that I knew CnV or had heard of CnV was that 10.5 car.
Yep.
You know, that's how I sort of, because I wasn't into this super stock and V8s and nitrous, and I had no idea
Yeah, now you got the most powered V8
any of those then.
In the world.
in the world. Look,
But that whole deal, how did that sort of evolve? Because from that 10.5 car, it went to the Jerry's. Oh, not Jerry. What's his name? Greg's car now, or Paul, the
Okay.
Mustang.
The way it started, I'll tell you the way it started. We had that car basically with a cast 481X block. It didn't have a billet block in the beginning. When we broke the block, I got in touch with Proline at the time and basically said, we want to buy a billet block off you guys. And there was a bit of negativity there because they wanted us to go through a dealer. And we said, we can't do that because we're our own race team. We don't want to involve anyone else. We want to do our deal. So that's where we started. We bought a billet block, basically started racing the car. The car was very reliable. We basically did 200 or 300 runs on that motor. Right, so basically wore the thing out, right? So
How much power, just so everyone knows, that you done,
over 4,000 horsepower back then.
and you done 300 runs?
And
That's right.
what did that car run?
5, when we tuned it, not when the Yanks came out at another point, it went 589, I think. But when we tuned it, was the first 5-second 10.5 car in Australia back then. So it was a cool thing for us, but that's what
So
we
you
did.
get 200 runs out of an engine that has 4,000 horsepower running 5s.
Yeah, when I say 200 or 300 runs without breaking it, there's still maintenance in between,
Yeah,
conrods,
rods,
valve springs,
pistons.
all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. It's not 200 or 300 straight, but without breaking it.
Without
right?
breaking the block.
Without breaking
Pretty much,
anything,
yeah.
really. We never broke anything.
No crank, nothing. Yeah.
So coming back to what the story was, we bought a spare engine out of Proline and had it sitting at CnV at Tarrant Point, and Michael, the team owner, kept seeing that engine sitting in the corner and basically covered in plastic and kept going, what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? I go, well, what do you want me to do with it? We're not breaking the one in the car. What do you want me to do with it? He goes, oh, we're going to build another car. We'll build a big tyre car. So that's where it started. So we talked to Tim McCamus. Paul got flown, set up in the new car, and the engine got flown back to America. And basically we raced that car in America with Michael Moyt, and they're like family with us. So basically we're lucky enough where we've got friends that actually respected us to be involved in that sort of level, but he also understood the level we were at too, so he always had a lot of faith in us. So coming back to what happened, we raced in America for a while, which was an awesome experience, and then the car came back. The car was basically the fastest car in Australia, still is the fastest car in Australia at the moment. Greg went 550 flat in that car.
Not for long, Greg.
But
for long.
But like I said, it's been a great experience for us, and you don't get the experience if people aren't investing in the money to make the car run. So to say we're blessed, we're definitely blessed because we
Had the backing and support.
100%, and that's a big deal for us too. You know,
That's the importance of it all. The team,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dynamics of the
Everything
team is
about
so
it.
important.
yeah. Like I said, you've got to be lucky and be respectful to the people that actually want to do it. Whether it's Michael Moyt, whether it's you, whether it's anybody, we respect you equally because it's the end of the day, we understand what it takes to do money-wise and to make things happen because it's not just money.
It's a big commitment.
Huge commitment.
Huge.
Massive.
I did
Huge.
We all know
two,
about it.
two years
Except
of
for my mate here.
2 years of racing.
Yeah.
I was going with Paul every single meeting we went to
Yeah.
together.
How many times have you been to America, Vic?
At that time, I don't know, probably 16 times or 17 times in 2 years.
Wow.
For what?
Bro, we went to America. It's like, step aside, mate. He'll
Paul.
get in the car. He'll drive. He'll do everything. It's just let Vic
He
take
would
care of it.
just, Paul would he'd just do his thing.
Yep.
He's a very driven guy
Yeah,
and
he is.
he's very good. And we just did it.
When you say do his thing, what does that mean?
Jump in the race.
He could control a race team very well.
Yep.
And that's what and he did do that, you know.
Because that became his full-time job, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like being the
Well,
crew.
at that time, yeah. Organizer, racer.
Yeah.
But the team together, we were awesome.
Solid.
Yeah. It was a
Very
good team.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys then got the blower car, Billy Stockland involved, won the championship in Door Slammer twice
Yeah.
in a row.
Twice in a row. Never
Yep.
been done before, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's impressive for the whole team.
Well,
Yeah.
it was.
can't wait
But
to
at the
put
end of
a
the day, like it was another experience again. You know, like we're blessed. Like it's not normal.
You've been around the block a few times, mate.
Yeah, a couple of times.
There's no doubt.
100%.
So now I think for me the most impressive thing lately has been Frank's car.
Yeah.
And we were just touching on the
a
imports.
V8 shop to be doing a 6-cylinder that's reliable
Well, it's not only doing a
and
6-cylinder.
consistent.
I saw it with my own eyes. These guys did everything. Fabricated the car in their shop.
Yeah, what surprised me was
Put it all
Jambo,
together.
Thursday to Sunday, and the car's just consistent, 6.0s and 590.
So give us some background on how that eventuated.
Congrats on winning Jambo, guys, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations.
That was,
Thank you,
that
thank
was
you.
big.
That was like the cherry on top, eh?
Well,
For all that hard work and stress that Frank put you through.
Frank's actually a good guy. But at the end of the
No,
day,
it's not.
Is-
we went
Frank
there.
Yochara.
We went there with no expectations, to be honest with you, because you got to be a blank sheet with a new car. We didn't go there with any 5-second numbers in our heads. We basically go there to like micromanage a brand new car.
It was a debut. Like
Yeah.
you had done one meeting in Sydney, which
Went
was
6-2
shit.
on a back off.
Yep.
And then you went there and boom, took the event out.
Well, the meeting was in Sydney was shit because we never had time
To set up the car properly.
to set up the car, and thank God we got Joe involved from Profab, and he set the car up for us, and he was at Willowbank with us, which I can't tell you is such a blessing, because if he wasn't there, he was adjusting the car every run. So
Well, we were talking about this earlier, and you said every time he'd make an adjustment to the car, it'd react.
100%.
Joe's the fucking man.
Joe's a sick car.
Joe's the man. Straight out.
It definitely makes a big difference. And,
It's all a part of the team.
well, the team's a big difference too, right? Everyone can say, without Frank cutting a light in the car's no good, right? So if you go out there and expect every run to be perfect, I think you're going to get disappointed, because it's not always like that, right? But you try and do your best every run, and that's all we can do.
Which is what he does.
So tell us the story of that, how this eventuated,
Well,
and how did the build up to it, and how what part of it did you guys get involved? Were you involved before Frank bought the old Mastermind car, or did he come to you with the Mastermind car?
No, he came to us with Mastermind, basically said, I'm happy with the way you're running the Camaro. Can you run this new car for me? And we go, we really don't have any experience with it, but basically,
Let's give it a shot.
yeah, we'll give it a shot. And that's it. We didn't really have any expectations.
So tell us a bit about the car. What's it got in it, and
It's got the chassis was built by Bickle. It used to be a Pro Nitrous car that was driven by the late Lizzie Moosey. The car's got a M&M transmission in it. It's basically got a Titan engine in it with a basically single turbo, 110mm turbo on it. Plasma Man did the intercooling and the manifold and all that stuff, and basically we nutted out how to set up the car. All our heads together and powwow on how we're going to do this car, because we really have no experience. So it was exciting to actually,
be a part of it
and
develop it?
Well, Frank had his ideas on where he wanted to be. So for us to think that we're just going to walk into this and actually do it, that's a big thing.
Big ask.
Well, we didn't really want to make a mistake, but we didn't think we were going to go to the first event and run fives and win the event either, right? So that was a bonus, like you said, Andrew. It's
Cherry on
basically
top.
the cherry on top. It's always good to win, but
Yeah.
to be honest with you, we had a problem with the engine on one of the runs, and we weren't going to make it to the next round if it wasn't for the help of Anthony Mastook and the whole crew. They came over and helped, and
I was watching that.
we had 5 minutes to spare and got out there. So
He called
crazy.
me and he's like, I did everything. I helped him. I was there.
I was supervisor.
Flipping
I was
spanners.
watching.
Yeah.
but
I
to
said,
be honest
yeah,
with you
man.
guys,
And you were actually filling up the oil at the start line.
Yeah, man.
You didn't even have the 5 minutes to
It
spare.
looked
Yeah,
insane.
we
Like
topped it up, yep.
that is like footage that should have been recorded.
honestly,
There's footage on
It-
Frank's phone. If
I
we can get
can't-
it, we'll put it in.
Yeah.
I can't explain how warm it makes me feel when you get that sort of dedication with the team next door to you, drops everything, comes over and helps. That was unbelievable,
The
guys.
wives were helping us. The
Yeah.
wives,
Mate,
the kids.
it was amazing.
It was good to see that everyone worked.
You will never
When-
forget it,
when-
right?
That's what made it even
before
better.
that happened-
One of those moments.
Yeah, well,
Yes, right?
before that happened, when he raced in the round when it broke, and you see the smoke, and you know straight away
Was that a kick in the guts for you?
that
Big
he
time.
won the run.
Yeah,
but-
6-0 he went.
and then
6-0,
we're thinking,
it broke early.
That's not good. And we go back. We actually raced all the way to the end, and he goes, "It's not good. It's missing." Okay. Oh, let's go back to the pits. So we're still sort of steady, thinking, "What are we going to do here?" Knowing that we've got a spare engine, but then you got to make the next round.
Which is an hour and a half away, was it?
Or it was. Sometimes it's quicker.
Yeah.
And then I just looked at Frank and I said, "Oh man, this is going to be pretty tough. I don't know if we can do it." And he goes, "Oh no, we need to do it." And then Anthony walked on the side and he goes, "What's going on?" I go, "Well, we've broken the motor and I don't think we're going to make it." He goes, "What are you talking about? Let's go." And that's where it started.
Yeah.
That was amazing, man.
Yeah,
honestly.
And it shows like how, you know, when you got good sportsmanship and you know,
Good to see shops working
like
together.
Rivalries, like you compete.
Mate, we're racing in the same class.
100%.
Really.
Yeah.
It's a competition.
That's awesome. Like
And to come together and do that, it's
I
massive.
can't tell you the amount of people that called me after that and said, "We love racing again."
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it was
It
just
made you like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you can see the goodness
Yeah.
of other people
I
helping other
honestly
people.
spewing that we didn't get that on footage because it would have
Oh,
been.
we've got
it would have
footage.
been.
I'm telling you,
That's your
Frank's-
fault, mate. You were there doing nothing. You could have
Yeah,
recorded
you were
it.
sitting at
I
the
was
top in the
sitting in
aircon.
aircon, mate. I wasn't moving.
I saw it.
You
I
see?
saw it.
He didn't think of the
I saw
podcast
you when
then.
you come in and you were like shocked, thinking,
Yeah,
"Look at these
I was
guys."
just there going, "Fuck it,
Right. Yeah.
There's people everywhere."
Frank went underneath the car for approximately 3 seconds and cracked his head open.
Frank came over to me and he's like, "I can't believe this is happening." I'm like, "Fucking hell, this is crazy."
Yeah.
Well, he can't believe that Anthony's there helping him.
And it was
Oh, but
good
that's
because
awesome,
we all
man.
sat in the grandstand waiting for it, and Ev's looking at us, goes, hopefully nothing leaks oil.
But it happens, man. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
but he just wanted to see, guys, hopefully it runs a number. Bang, first hit, 596.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We
Like, if
were
you
all
tried-
cheering.
If you tried to do that in the shop on a normal business day and told your mechanics, "I want this done in an hour and a half,"
Never going to happen.
it's not going to happen.
They're going to look at you and say you're not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look, I told Ev already, he can't charge me more than an hour and a half for an hour and a half.
I was going to
Yeah,
get
but
to that.
his ample, it'll say an hour and a half times 20 people.
Yeah, well, and those people, yes.
yeah.
But there was moments there, like I said, you had to be there. And
Did it bring a tear to your
And
eye?
it
Or
was-
a
and
tear
it
of
does,
joy?
but the
It
funny,
wasn't
there was
just an engine swap. Like, it was accessories,
Bolt
everything,
on, yeah.
cleaning.
Yeah, yeah. It was a big
It
one.
wasn't just like take out, put in. It was change everything, rocker covers and all, everything.
There was a moment where Anthony's wife came up and said, "I've got to take a photo." I go, "A photo of what?" She goes, "Nader. He's actually working." Wow.
Yeah, that was surprising. Well, you know what?
He doesn't work on his own car. What's going on?
It was actually surprising to see Amph and that working because Amph doesn't normally work.
Really? Mate, he was head down, man. He
Yeah.
went hard.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
No,
No,
was
it was an epic event, and it was just all that just like topped it off, and then to go out and actually win it.
Yep.
After that, it was just
Imagine
like,
you red
fuck,
lit.
like
Oh, look, it happens, Andrew. You know that.
Oh, trust me, I know that.
Red Let Bind it.
He
Trust
actually
me,
did-
I know
he
that.
actually did
He
killer
did
lights.
killer lights, yeah.
He
He,
done well, man. He done really well.
he drove really well.
So what's the plans now for that?
To go 550.
Well, the plan was to run the next Jambo event, which got cancelled now. But that's I don't know when the next event's
Isn't there
coming up.
Grudgkins coming up in October?
Yeah, I know, but we haven't spoken about another event. We were talking about Jambo, and that was it for now. Frank's away for a few more days, and we'll probably talk about it soon.
I'm telling you, Frank will be at the next private meet at the end of September. Yous will be there. There's 2 days.
We're there. We're racing a Camaro that we just finished for a customer.
So you'll probably be there with Frank as well. He wants to run that car. He's excited.
No, he does. He loves it.
Yeah.
You know what's another impressive car that you guys built recently? the Commodore, the Nick's
That
Nick's
grey
Commodore,
one.
the
Razz
grey
him
one.
up. Is it Razz him up?
Yeah, raise him up.
What's Razz him or Razz him?
Raise him.
Raise him
Raise
up.
him up.
Raise
I like that car, and
Man,
you know,
I'm old generation. None of the number plates make any sense to me, by the way. So
so he's never driven
How
before
about
that car,
no
right?
excuses? Does that
no,
make
he,
sense
he
to
had
you?
streak.
That makes the most sense to him. That's one of
I
the.
remember that number plate for a long time, bro. But Nick was a customer of ours with his street car that ran mid-nines with a street car VE, which we did for him for a while back. And then when he wanted to get into that car when it was available, we're sort of thinking that's a big step from a 9-second car to that car. And yeah, like you said, it's an impressive car.
What do you run?
It runs 680 flat at 209, 210 mile an hour roughly.
Yeah,
But
Sick.
nicely.
yeah, no, it's a bracket car.
Yeah, nicely.
Yeah, basically.
Everyone's a bracket car in the sixes.
Well, that car's definitely a bracket car in the sixes.
100%.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, and he drives the fuck out of it. And
Well, he drives well
He's
too,
driving
for
it well,
someone
100%.
someone who's just jumped in the deep end as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
It's like it's amazing.
I remember he used to shit himself when he first used to get into that car. He'd come and
You shit yourself
we'd
too in the
always talk-
Camaro from the RX3 first time, yeah?
yeah, V8 third
Yeah.
rotary. Yeah,
before or after he lost the
I
tire.
don't- The
No,
first
he
time
lost a toe in the RX3, but then that's because it was slow, and then he got into the V8.
I got into that V8, right?
Did you run a 6 in the RX3?
7.0. Many times. 200, 201,
He bracket
200,
raced.
199, everything.
I
701,
can't believe you
702,
sold it without running at a 6.
700. Circumstances change. But yeah, to answer your question, to go from running 7.0s to 386, our first full pass or half track pass at Kenda, I remember the first time I jumped in that car, mate. It's like, let go of that button, and you're like, what the hell is going on here, mate? It's like the skin on your face
Were you
is peeling
nervous
back.
when you first got in it? Like, how nervous were
Yeah,
you?
I was a little nervous.
Were you like questioning yourself, going, "What the fuck?"
No,
He just wanted to go
I love
fast
it.
every single time.
I love it.
What did you end up being in that? 354?
354.
20.
Is that still the record?
Yeah.
It is, eh? In Australia?
Yeah.
It's crazy, eh?
Not many
that
people
car-
do half track
That car
passes.
went 234 with a 1, man. Like, that is a 40 pass, those early numbers.
Well,
man.
it's not, so it didn't do it.
It never happened. It never got there. It never got there. Like, yes, agreed. It's got to get there to be able to claim it.
And Vic, what's the what's the involvement with your son? Because I see him everywhere now at the track, and he's in there. Like,
He loves it.
yeah. What's he doing now? Is he more in the tuning side or the engine building side?
No, tuning.
Is
He
he?
runs a dyno.
Oh, really?
He's a better operator than me.
Oh, wow.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's got a good feel. I'm a bit old school. I'll put my foot down, then I've got to take it off.
And he can drive.
He's a good
He's
driver.
a good driver.
Yeah,
Good driver.
He's testing the Camaro at the next event.
Is he?
Street 320, yeah.
What Camaro is it?
The
It's
yellow
a,
one.
It's a street car.
Oh, street car.
Danny's.
Danny is a fifth's cousin.
Is that twin turbo? That
Twin
Yep.
turbo LS, yeah. Nice
wow.
car. Really nice car.
So
You
John
built that
Yeah.
from scratch?
Yeah, it came in as a stock car.
How much power did it make?
I
Well, we
didn't
just-
we talk about this power thing on the dyno. We don't really push them on the dyno like some people. I think we made
What do you
16 or
think?
We
1700
made
horsepower.
900 horsepower in the beginning,
Yeah.
and Danny goes, "That's enough. I think it's enough." I go, "What are you talking about?"
We're going to leave on 900
We're
horsepower.
gonna, yeah. And then we kept going. He kept stepping back. We kept going. He kept stepping back. So we stopped at 16, nearly 1700. We said, "That's enough. Let's start."
Yep.
So you guys never full bot on the dyno?
There's no point, man. Like, honestly, you know, any of the ProMods we've done, and I'm talking about any of them, our dyno can probably handle, or it can handle 3500 because it's a big single retarder. Unlike a lot of the other shops have got a single retarder, but they're rated at 2500 horsepower. Ours is rated at 3,500. So it's called a GR rotor, which is a big rotor. Then the next dyno has to be the twin box one, which is what the Yanks got, and they ran your
That's
car
your
on.
car, yeah.
So we don't see the point of, and even when Andrew's car was running the States, I told Andrew I don't think it's a good idea to push the car at the level that they did, because I think it's hard on the car, harder than what you think. So we have that attitude with every car we do in the shop. So whether it's Danny's car, your car, Greg's car, whatever car, we run them to a certain point, get the tune up close enough. Frank's 2J, we made 1700 horsepower and we stopped. That's it. We've got a base. So we go do the rest of it at the track. And within a few passes at the track, we got it right, you know, like that's,
Wow.
I think that's,
When he is coming back out in Mauler's car?
no, Mauler's going to probably run Grudge Kings, I think.
What's the aim? What's the goal for that car?
That's a good question.
Because the
At
last time I
moment-
seen it, it looked like it was flying.
Yeah, we,
Mauler flies the ProMod flag. The
Yeah.
ProMod flag is that 585 index.
that's what he wants to do.
So it's hard to go out and go full belt and try and go as fast as you can.
He's tried it. He's already tried it.
I know, but to do
What's
that,
he ran?
We haven't pushed the Hemi yet. We've been 550 with the Hemi, but the
We
481X,
60-footed fast.
yeah, we're 60 foot 930 something. So that's pretty
Wow.
good for a turbo car.
That's fucking fast, man.
But yeah, the car's been 550 with the old engine combo, and basically the next run we 60-footed quicker, and the extractor broke, and basically we were probably going to run at 48 or 47, 547, 548, but because the extractor broke, it burnt 2 leads off the engine, and the car still went 570. So
So
unfortunately,
technically about 570 on a
with a
back
six,
off.
on a, no, on a
cylinders.
6-cylinder.
On 6 cylinders.
What could that car go full bolt?
With the new engine.
With a new engine, as fast as an Andrew's car, right, basically. But you still got to get the conditions to work, right? It's not.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no given number.
So he's the same setup as Andrews.
Basically the same, yeah. But Andrew's car's a newer chassis, so obviously the next generation chassis are going to be an advantage because they're stronger and they're built differently.
Aerodynamics.
Yeah, aerodynamics, like on Andrew's car, will be really the best of the best at the moment. So
that chassis you got is the best of the best.
it's the latest,
the body.
It's all right. It should work.
Hectic.
It should work.
It should work, yeah. But, you know,
So if
everything...
I put an LS1 in my ProMod, I'll still go at 7.
Yes.
Aerodynamic.
Build them at LS1.
You're on 7s all day, man.
That's all I want.
But
Could you go 5s with the LS?
Yeah, definitely.
With the right weight.
Yeah, definitely. Build it light, yeah.
Fuck. Imagine that.
I just want an LS1 with a manual, 256.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Greg's car's a fast car, but our rules at the moment won't allow the 260 mile an hour thing. But if Andrew does what he's going to do when he brings his car back and they run 8 mile flat out, well, that'll be okay for all of the cars, you know?
Yeah. What's your thought on the the speed limit?
My thought is it's a joke.
Yeah.
I think that a car will crash at 260, 250, 240. It's the same thing, okay?
You're fucked.
Well, it's not going to be any better. So
I
we've
think
been-
there's a difference between 250 and 270 or
Okay.
280, what the
But-
new cars would run.
Okay, so let's back up 1 second because I got a really solid point about this. If you drive the car to the finish line and pull the chutes and you pull it at 260, you're going to be doing 265, 270 by the time you get off anyway. What happens when the driver or the systems fail in the car and you drive it past the finish line? It's got to go 270, 280. How do they stop that? After the finish line now, right? So it's just a little bit crazy, the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
When you got inside, like when Frank's car, the red car went 266, you could see the in-car shot, the car's dead straight, hands on the chutes, everything's normal, it pulls up beautifully. So I think that's like crazy to pull the car up like that when it's so well put together and the safety features are there, electromotion, all the stuff that the cars have got today.
Yeah.
The aero on the car is fantastic. You're not driving, no offence, a VL turbo.
Hey.
Hey.
No offence. I love VL turbos, but you're not driving
Yeah,
a car
100%.
to run mid-fives or...
It's not a street car, yeah.
Yeah, these cars
Purposely
are serious
built
cars,
to go
man.
that fast, yeah.
And they're safe. The driver's safe. Everything in the car is built to go fast. So
Yeah.
it's not good.
Well, we'll see where that ends up in
Yeah.
the future.
100%.
LS1, 256 ProMod. I got the aerodynamic body.
Well, you know where to go if you want to build that.
Yeah, LS1, get it ready.
Well, guys, thank you very
Nitrous.
much. Is there anything you'd like to say to wrap it up? Or-
No,
I just
thank
want
you
to
for
say
coming
good luck
on. And
with everything you got, and hopefully you take out the 6 on the record.
Yeah.
I know Frank wants it. So,
One run at a
Fingers
time,
crossed.
boys.
you have done well, and congratulations on Jambo, and thank you for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
Congrats,
we
guys.
so you
Well
see you at
done.
the track.
We appreciate it.
We'll see you at the
Thank
track.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.